morning. Good morning, Grand Rising. Today is your day. If you're tuning in after this has aired, you're going to want to watch this all the way through. Good morning. Good morning. Just waiting for a few more people to chime in and we'll begin. In the meantime, have you had your morning elixir? I ain't got my nails on. Go grab your coffee. hmm Good morning. It's raining, but it's beautiful. And I'm grateful for today, this Tuesday. Had a wonderful weekend. Just a little small talk, waiting for other people to tune in because I don't want to go back and repeat myself. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Hi, Isaiah. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes for some more people to come on because I don't want to have to repeat myself. Good morning. I listen, Isaiah. Thank you for asking. I had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Literally, I still worked on my channel, doing my research and stuff, and relaxed. Basically, I cut a couple of, trimmed a couple of hedges. I had a wonderful weekend. I really did. I had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for asking. I had a video to go viral. I came across this saying that says, everything is how it should be. All is going well. I'm going to start saying that and keeping that here while we're waiting on other people. I'm just a little small talk. But I came across that and I was like, wow, everything is going well. No, everything is going as it should be. All is well. Mm. Listen, Isaiah, listen, you got to do it until you find, not find, but till your Boaz show up. Listen, I know how to take care of what needs to be taken care of, and I know how to step back when it's time to step back. When my Boaz show up, I'll step back. But until then, yes, I have to trim the hedges. I have to mow the lawn, seed the grass. You know, yeah. In the meantime, I'm not gonna just sit and twiddle my thumbs and just like, oh, whoa, it's me. I'm good and grown. What needs to be done, I can do it. I wish I knew how to fix a roof. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning. How are you? So today we're talking about um hold on one second. Let's get this together. When the powerful hurt you, right? When the powerful hurt you, let's talk about that. And by this being mental health awareness month, we're going to dive a little deep. We're going to talk about something that hits all of us, not just in the headlines, but also in our homes, right? When someone hurts you, when someone hurts us deeply, what do you want to know? You want to know what happened, what caused it, or whatever. Um, they need to be held accountable. And what's accountability? Accountability is holding their feet to the fire, letting them say, "Listen, I know what I done to you. You're giving me the chance to get it together," right? Versus cancellation, canceling them out, saying, I know what you did. I'm gonna cancel you out completely. I want to have nothing to do with you, your music, your whatever the case may be. It's a difference between holding somebody accountable and canceling them out. I think on the Diddy trial, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I done canceled that man out. And I mean, I mean, just listen to everything. Wait a minute. Anyway, let me get back to my notes. And let's be real, accountability and counsel culture are not the same thing. They're not. Good morning, Jess. They're not the same thing. Accountability is where you cause harm and now you're taking the responsibility to change. Now, do y'all think Diddy is being accountable? I think he's just trying to save his skin. I think he's doing everything he can to keep from going to jail. I think if he really was holding himself accountable, he wouldn't have taunted Cassie and the others the way that he did. And the thing about being hurt, it goes deeper than people in power. There's church hurt, there's hurt in marriages, there's hurt in families. And a lot of times people stay silent to keep the peace. And that's traumatic within itself. Lord, I'm skipping all on them, but I mean, I had to say it. But is there power in silence? Yeah, it is power in silence, but you got to know when to speak up. Because sometimes when things happen to you and you stay silent, that can be very traumatic. And you pass that on down to your children. And it's teaching them not to be able to speak up for themselves. I'm just saying. Good morning. What do y'all think this morning about this topic? What's the difference between accountability and cancellation? It's a big difference. It's a big difference between, let me see, the world doesn't hold each other accountable in this unhealed world. No, but they're quick to cancel you out. It's called the cancel culture. We're quick to cancel people out. I don't want to have nothing to do with you, your music, your whatever it is, your TV shows and nothing, versus holding a person accountable. And here's the thing, accountability is about acknowledging harm, taking responsibility, making amends, and doing the work to repair if it's possible, right? That's what accountability is. Accountability is growth centered, not punishment centered. Accountability says you caused the harm. Now, what will you do? Now, what you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? And what does that look like? Holding somebody accountable. What does that look like? Holding yourself accountable. It looks like doing the work, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's going to counseling, right? So, cancellation versus accountability. You did something wrong, so now you're done forever. I don't have nothing to do with you, like I said today. A good example is Diddy. I think he's canceled now. I think he's canceled. Cancel culture is real. NJS, good morning. And cancellation is like, okay, for example, with R. Kelly, he was canceled. They deleted his music. They deleted anything he did, disowned his work, and shamed him or shamed anybody that listened to him. Bill Cosby. Accountability looks like pausing support while investigating. I'm not going to cancel you out. I'm not going to support you right now, but I'm just going to look into this matter just to see if you did what they said you did. It's centered around survivors, therapy, reparations, funding, healing groups, organizations. I think oftentimes when people get in a certain position in life, they feel like they're larger than life. Um, Okay, you get some celebrities to get to a certain stature that's making X amount of dollars. They feel like they're untouchable. So then they start doing things to where they feel like nobody's going to say anything, nobody's going to do anything to me because I'm the head ninja in charge, right? But then you have the people, okay, let's talk about this. Then you have the people that work for them that see things that's going on, but they're going to turn a blind eye because they need this job and they need this money. So are they, you see what's going on, put your head to say, no, it ain't none of my business. Oh, give me a heart if it's better, NJS. I personally feel, this is just me. I personally, can y'all hear me better now? Let me turn this to, let me see if y'all can hear me better. That's better. Can you hear me better? All right. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let me see. Okay, is this better? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna change this mic and hopefully this will solve the problem. Hopefully this will solve the problem. That sounded a little bit better, didn't it? That sounded a little bit better, didn't it? That sounded a little bit better, didn't it? Okay, remove the cover. Okay, remove the cover. Okay, how's this? Okay, how's this? Is it better? Is it better? Oh yeah, it is better. I can hear the difference myself. Thank you. Better. I can hear the difference myself. Thank you. So getting back to what I was saying, I think that let me mute this. Um, okay, hold on. I gotta put this away, guys, because if not, I'll misplace it. So just give me 1 second. The hardest thing is to face self because it can be ugly. We all sin when we are not humble because we have lots of money. Okay, echoing. Okay. Am I still echoing? Is it still echoing? Is it still echoing? Okay, thank you. So yeah, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, Isaiah said, oh, you know what? The hardest thing is facing ourselves. It really is. And I was reading something last night. Well, I was listening to Sarah Jakes last night. The hardest thing is to sit with self and to sit in the disgust of yourself, to sit in um all the flaws that you have. just to sit with it, the cringiness of it. I listened to her yesterday, and when you can do that and figure out why, right? And learn love yourself through it, you can become a better person. But if you're a person who's a narcissist, right, and don't see that you're a narcissist, and you work for a narcissist, how are you going to um, let this person know? Listen, I don't like what you're doing. Are you gonna step to that person and be willing to lose your position? Because mind you, you're making good change now. I think for me, and again, it's always easy to say what you will or won't do when you're not in that situation. But being the person that I am, and being that I am a mother, when I see other children or being or a woman going through what I've been through, I'm quick to step up and say something. Now that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. Because I always feel like if my children was in a situation, or if I was in a situation I couldn't help myself, or my kids was in a situation they couldn't help themselves, I would want somebody to speak up. Now let's just take Cass for instance. All these people and saw him jump on her, drag her. Now she had a couple friends to try to help her out. I would have been one of those friends. People need to learn how to embrace self and pain to heal and love themselves, and that's very painful. And let's just face it, people don't like pain. People don't like pain. I had a friend once that tell me, listen, if I gotta feel it, I don't want it. Give me some she named off some pain meds or whatever. She said, I don't want to feel nothing. But sometimes you have to feel it in order to heal it. And you know what? How does a person do that? Because again, I guess I'm playing the devil's advocate. I guess I am. I don't know. But here's the thing. Okay, so for example, I can only tell my story. My mother, I grew up in an abusive home. My father was physically, verbally abusive to my mother. It was four of us, four kids. And we used to always ask her, why do you keep taking this? Why don't you leave? And she would often say, I'm staying because of y'all. And we was like, look, don't stay because of us, because we want to get the hell out of here too. But as I grew older, I came to realize that my mom, she was codependent on him. Although she hated the abuse, I guess she felt like that was his way of saying he loved her, as twisted as that may seem. But she never, if she left, she would come back. She'd leave no longer. I think the longest they stayed separated was like a year. And that was after we had got, my youngest brother was still in school, but the other three of us had graduated. I couldn't explain why she did what she did, why she stayed. Only she knew why she stayed. But I mean, in the beginning, she would say she stayed because of us. Some people may stay because of the money. Some people may stay because, listen, if I get out of this relationship, then that means I gotta change a tire. That means I gotta mow my grass. That means, I gotta take care of everything else he was taking care of. And some people rather deal with that than just to deal with stepping up to the plate and doing what you gotta do. You're welcome, Darlene. You would do the same thing. Without pain, there's no growth. Let me tell you something. I think for me, from what I endured coming up, and I maybe I stayed in the marriage a little too long because I gave it a second chance. But I know me. You ain't gonna give us so many chances. And you ain't gonna play with my heart but so many times before I take it back. Because we all have a reason for doing what we do. Right. And I think for me, I learned to love me. I learned to say, listen, I'm more than this. Because again, for me, I can only speak for me. The first onset of realizing that my marriage was over, I literally was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because I'm like, wow, everybody. And I listen, I got a video that's dropping that's really gonna talk about the smile behind no, what's behind the dance and the smile. I think that's the name of it. And I'm really diving deep into my truth. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Um, but yeah, I listen, I love me. I, girl, honey, sir, ma'am, can't nobody love Veronica like Veronica love Veronica. And if you can't love Veronica like Veronica love Veronica or love me better, then guess what, babe? I just got to deal with the embarrassment. I got to deal with just being by myself. I got to deal with, okay, yeah, my neighbors see me out here pushing this lawnmower. Yeah, my neighbors see me out here jacking up this car or changing it. Yeah, my neighbors see all of that because I'm not embarrassed anymore because I'm free. I'm not going to be in a relationship to where I feel lesser than or I don't feel like I'm valued. But again, going back to other people have reasons why they stay. Some people say they're staying for the children. But let's just take a pause right there. When people say they're staying for the children, do you not think the children are being affected if there's a lot of verbal abuse and a lot of mental abuse? Yes, they are being affected by it. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Uh, Let me go back to these right here. Hi, Martha. How have you been, sweetie? Sabotage. Self sabotage. That's a real thing, buddy. Darling says I'm gonna leave because of me, not subject my children to that abuse. Yes, game over after I give you a chance. Absolutely. Self love. That's right. Self love is everything. You gotta love yourself, and then again, I didn't get to where I am overnight. I had to learn how to love Veronica again. I had to learn how to, say that I am enough. And how did I get there? I'll tell you how I got there. I got there by once looking at myself in the mirror, for one, looking at myself in the mirror and talking to me, saying things to me that I didn't even believe. But I kept telling myself I was enough. I kept telling myself I was beautiful. I kept telling myself that in tears, crying when I didn't believe it. And I kept saying it until I believed it. That's right. As crazy as it may seem, I told myself that until I believed it. Let me tell you something. When I found when I found this year, when I found Veronica, can't nobody tell me, look, I said it before, no, I can't nobody tell me nothing. Because I know who I am and I know whose I am. Okay. You have to put yourself first. Speak life, absolutely. Fantasia said it best in her song. She said it best in her song. But again, when people find themselves in relationships, when people find themselves in situationships and friendships, right? Um, and the person that they trust um, abuse them or hurt them, and they're not in a place to where they feel like they can do better, they're gonna stay there and take it. They're gonna stay there and take it because at the end of the day, if a person don't know their worth and their value, they're gonna stick and stay. And as Cassie had said in her testimony, she just wanted to spend time with him. She just wanted to love him, wanted him to love her, you know? And we can't judge, but we're quick to judge. We're like, why did she stay that long? Or she must have liked it. I'm like, no, no. Going along with the program because thinking, man, he gonna change. How many of us have been there in a relationship saying, well, he gonna change. I'm gonna give him time. He gonna change. Yeah, he gonna change because we seeing what we want to see. We trying to believe or put a person on a where we want them to be instead of being like Maya Angelou. She said it best: when a person shows you who they are, believe them. But no, we don't. We want to see what we want to see in a person because we love them and we're, you know what I mean. NJS says, find yourself. People need to learn to be alone and discover what they are capable of doing for themselves and their growth. Exactly. I definitely agree with that. And I've always said, if you can't spend time with yourself, what makes you think somebody else want to spend time with you? Hmm. And again, I get it. I get it. When especially when you become when you get a certain age, you're looking like, I don't want to grow old alone, or I don't want to do anything else. Well, I would rather go through this journey called life alone rather than be in a relationship to where I'm not valued or I'm being abused or any of those things. Because see, I can do bad all by myself. I don't want to be in a relationship with nobody that does not value me the way that I value me. I had somebody tell me one time, they was like, honey, your standards are too high. No, baby, your standards are too low. They told me, said, you will never find anybody. I ain't looking. I'm not looking. And if it happened, it happened. If it don't, oh well, but I'm not lowering my standards for nobody. Okay. Love is a powerful thing. And I think too, um, again, this goes back to what we was talking about the other day. Being in relationships, having those uncomfortable conversations, being in relationships, accepting a person for who they are, not trying to change them, right? Accepting them for who they are. Now, again, if they are abusing you and all this other stuff, I'm not accepting that bullshit. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. But it's growth on both parties, right? On both parties. But accepting a person for who they are, accepting them for where they are, okay? And learning to grow together, creating a safe space to where they can speak their truth and not feel judged, and vice versa. But again, ladies, I just got to keep it 1,000. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it 1,000, Miss Darlene. Here you go. I can only speak for the Black women. We as Black women always say, like, tell me the truth, tell me the truth, and really and truly, when they tell you the truth, you hold it against them. You got to stop that. You got to stop that. I created a space called the safe zone, the free zone, excuse me. And the free zone is, listen, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. You speak your truth, I speak my truth, and nobody get judged. But people hold on to whatever they want to hold on to. But that right there within itself is a huge step to take, to be able to say, listen, speak your truth. And we're going to lay everything out here on the table. Because see, if we want to work on this thing called relationship or marriage or whatever, we got to lay it all out. We ain't not keeping no secret. Let's just put it all out there. And with everything being laid out, I may not be able to take in everything that's been laid on the table. Hell, I may not be able to take one thing that you on that put out on that table. So give me a chance to take it all in, and I may have to come back and revisit the table the next day or the next week. But give me time to, right, be able to absorb. And what we're going to do is take one of those things at a time and work with. We're not going to try to take everything. Just take one thing, deal with that, and we'll grow from there. And that's the way it should be. But oftentimes, it's more times than not. Did I say that right? A lot of times, it's not taken that way. A lot of times, I talk to quite a few people, and I'm just like, listen, sis, listen, bruh. You got to allow them to speak their truth without you getting upset. No, you may not like it, but put your feelings in your pocket. If you really want your relationship to grow, if you want to move forward from that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Listen, when you've done all you can do and you can't do no more, I'm gonna have to take a sip. It's time to Fantasia says sometimes you gotta lose to win again. Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. And I'm not kicking a dead horse to death because I already did. We're not doing all that. Okay. By this being Mental Health Awareness Month, you have to take out time again for yourself, for your mental, for your psyche. And what does that look like for you? I don't know. What does it look like for you? I don't know what it looks like for you. I know what it looks like for me. And if you're in a relationship, both of you need to take time for yourselves and give yourselves that mental space, right? Hello, somebody. All this stuff going on. You got your bills, you got life be life, and everything is going on, and sometimes it can become overwhelming. Oh, let me get back. I done strayed all the way away from my notes. Okay, so let me pick up back on my notes. I said the power dynamics are everywhere, not just in celebrity culture, but in the most personal places like home, marriages, and parenting. Let's talk about it, because even we have power in parenting, and here we go. When my kids when my kids was small, well, when I was small, my parents just say, "What did I say? Shut your mouth! You don't you talk back to me." So that's all I knew. So in raising my children, I felt like if they expressed themselves, they were talking back. But as I got educated and as my children was growing and I was maturing, I realized that guess what? They need to express themselves too, because if we allow them to express themselves when they're small, when they get older and go out into society, they'll know how to express themselves even the more then, right? So again, I don't hold anything against my parents. They only did what they knew, right? But when you know better, you do better. That can bring traumatic experiences for young children too, when they're not allowed to speak or express themselves. What do? They internalize everything and they don't feel like they can speak their truth. Again, I have a free zone for my grandchildren and my children to speak your truth. You're not going to be judged. I don't care what it is. Say what you want to say. Hell, you can cuss. I don't care. This is a free zone. But when we are to have this conversation, just say free zone, Nana. Okay, exactly. It's free zone. Go for it. You can say what you want to say, but be respectful in saying what you say. Um, in the marriage, one partner may use emotional, financial, or even spiritual power to control the other. Okay, did y'all hear that? Yes, because one is making more money than the other, or maybe one may be the homemaker. They're going to use that as their leverage because they're bringing in all the finances. And so, yeah, you got to do what I said. That's abuse right there, you ask me. The silent partner may stay quiet for the kids, fear judgment, or have been gaslit into believing it's all their fault. How many of y'all been in a relationship that say, you made me do it? If you wouldn't have said this, then I wouldn't have done that. If you da. We all have been in that situation. I've been on both sides of it. Like I said, I've matured and I've grown a lot. Right in my young 20s, and oh yeah, I did. I was on both sides. The abuser. Let's just keep it at 100. Good morning, recording. Paint. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And oftentimes, when a person is silent, silence becomes survival for them. Right? Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Oh, again, I had spoke on this. As a parent, we say because I said so. That's a becomes a weapon, and a child learns to silence their emotions and keep them bottled in. That's why kids sometimes out here doing crazy stuff because can't get it out. You suppressing it because don't do it. Why? Because I said so. And I've been guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. But like I said, when you know better, you do better. And that's right there is causing generational silence, which can lead to trauma. Kids grow into adults who don't know how to use their voice or fear using it. One of the things that I have done, with my children. And again, and this goes back to being power, having control of everything. And when they got older, I was like, listen, I apologize for the things that I didn't know. I didn't know any better. And now that I know better, I do better. And listen, they told me we see the change and we're glad, you know, because again, I was only doing what I was taught. But each generation is different. And it's okay to admit, listen, I didn't have all the tools to work with. I didn't know how. I was doing, I was working with a half a cart of tools when I needed my cart to be full. But I wasn't ashamed to go get counseling. I wasn't ashamed of any of those things. Like when I sat down and talk, I talked to my children. I ain't listen, I ain't do all that baby talk. No, I talk to them like I'm talking to you all. And we grew together. And so in doing that, where your kids feel like they couldn't trust you, you're forming putting yourself in position to where you can be trusted by your children again. Because oftentimes when the kids feel like they can't trust you, where they going? They're going right on out in the street to somebody else where they can feel like they being seen and heard doing the most. So who do you blame? I'm just saying. Mm. So when people are hurt by partners, parents, pastors, or public figures, silence can feel safer than the truth. But guess what silence does? It protects the abusers. It delays healing and it reinforces shame. Mhm. Being silent, it protects your abuser, it delays your healing, and it reinforces shame. Honey, speak up and speak out. Let's just speak the truth. Speaking up, whether it's online, across the kitchen table, breaks generation cycles and creates room for actual accountability, not just counseling someone out, but calling them to change. Listen, that's it for today. I thank you guys for tuning in. Again, let's do the work. And what does that look like for you? What it looks like to you may be different from me, but we're going to do the work. I thank you guys for tuning in. Continue to support your girl. I appreciate you. Pass it on to somebody else that could learn from this video. Okay? So you all have a great day. Talk to you soon.